I would now like to introduce Rebecca Blank, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Chancellor Blank has led this great university since 2013. She is an internationally respected economist who also spent time in Washington, D.C., working in 3 different presidential administrations, most recently as Deputy Secretary and Acting Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce under President Obama. Chancellor Blank received her undergraduate degree in economics from the University of Minnesota and holds a doctoral degree in economics from MIT. She has served on the faculty at Princeton, Northwestern, and the University of Michigan, where she was Dean of the Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy. As Chancellor, she has committed herself to maintaining the university's position as one of the world's top centers for discovery and research, educating students to compete in a global economy, and helping UW experts share knowledge and innovation with the state, the nation, and the world, what we call, as you have heard, the Wisconsin idea. Please welcome Chancellor Blank.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Winter 2019 commencement of the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Congratulations to new graduates and a warm welcome to all family and friends. I also want to welcome and thank our guest speaker today. Jason Gay is a Wall Street Journal columnist, a sports reporter, and a UW alum who has built a career arguing why the University of Wisconsin Badgers are better than the University of Michigan Wolverines or any other Big Ten team. In other words, Jason has figured out how to get paid for what most of you do for free. Jason, we are all looking forward to hearing from you, and I very much want to thank you for being here. Class of 2019, you're graduating at an historic year for the university. We're marking the anniversaries of 2 important events that changed our campus. The first, 2019, is the 150th anniversary of the first women to earn bachelor's degree from Uw-Madison. There were 6 women in that class. You're going to hear more about them in just a moment and their legacy in a brief video that we'll show. The second event, 50 years ago, following the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, students here at UW and indeed around the country staged protests to draw attention to systematic discrimination that was excluding students of color, and I might note faculty of color, from higher education. Here in Madison, the Black student strike ultimately involved close to 10,000 faculty, staff, and students. It led to the creation of the Afro-American Studies Department and prompted the administration to make diversity a priority. Both of those anniversaries, that's worth applause too. Both of those anniversaries remind us that we're a public institution that opens its doors to provide a college degree for everyone who can show they're ready to take on the academic rigors of this place. While we've not always lived up to that promise, at times we have been less welcoming than we should have been, it is imperative that we remember our history and that we learn from it to become an even better institution. So whoever you are, if you want to engage in the learning that takes place on this campus, you are welcome here. Today, we confer 1,770 degrees upon our undergraduate, graduate, and professional school students. About 2/3 of you are here in person, and some others will participate in the ceremony in the spring. December graduates are an interesting group. It is pretty unlikely that you came to UW planning to graduate in December. Some of you took a little more time to reach that milestone. Maybe you did internships or studied abroad. Some of you took a little less time. because you focused like a laser on completing your degree. And some of you have overcome great challenges to reach this moment. For today, for you, this has special meaning, and I want to share just one of your stories. Umm-Madison Mohammed Saeed was 11 years old when her family had to flee their home in Baghdad after a threat from Al-Qaeda. For the next 7 years, they were refugees. There was no opportunity to work or go to school, so Umm-Madison's mother homeschooled her and her siblings. Then in 2014, the United States granted them asylum, and they settled in Wisconsin. Umm-Madison worked hard to build her academic skills and finally achieved her goal of admission to Uw-Madison. Today, she earns her bachelor's degree in Human Development and Family Studies from the School of Human Ecology. She hopes to go on for a master's degree in our School of Medicine and Public Health. She is here with her parents and her siblings who are now UW students. Congratulations to Umm-Madison. I want to make a few observations today about the value of the degree that you're receiving, which represents one of the biggest investments that you or your parents will ever make. As one of our students described his graduation in December, I am definitely hoping this is the most expensive ticket I will ever buy to the Kohl Center. In your time here at UW, there's been debate about whether a college education is worth it. In the last year alone, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post all published pieces questioning the value of a college degree. Now, before I became chancellor, as the provost noted, I was trained as an economist, and as an economist, I am entirely mystified by those who question the value of a college degree. Simply put, you have made the best investment you will ever make. The monetary returns on a college degree are higher now than they have been at any time in the past 50 years. College graduates earn far more than non-college graduates, and that remains true even if you adjust for the differences between those who do and don't go to college. It's clear, this university gives you skills that this global economy values more and more every day. But it's not just about the money. College graduates are more satisfied with their jobs and express greater life satisfaction than people without college degrees. They're more likely to marry, less likely to divorce. They're healthier. They live longer than non-college grads. They're more involved in communities where they live and more likely to do volunteer work and to vote. Now, you've chosen particularly well, and I will say this as the chancellor here, because you're graduating from a school that is consistently ranked as one of the best values in the United States. But a value of a college degree reflects a lot more than just the educational quality and the price of tuition at the institution that you attend. It also sends a reputational signal about who you are. So what will your diploma from the University of Wisconsin tell the world about you? Let me start with the obvious answers. A UW degree tells the world you understand the value of deep-fried cheese curds. It tells the world that you believe shorts are not an unreasonable clothing choice on a 40-degree March day. It tells the world you will always root for Badger teams and that you know there is no better place on earth on a warm summer evening than the Union Terrace. But to be more serious, This is one of the top 25 universities in the world. The credential you receive today is a signal of excellence. Your credential tells the world you have deep knowledge of your academic field and the ability to function in a big, complex, and occasionally daunting institution. But there's another thing that makes the University of Wisconsin in Madison special. That is our profound sense of responsibility to be involved with the world and to be part of changing the world for better. That is the Wisconsin idea. And the class of 2019 has embraced this ethic in a big way. You've helped make UW the #1 school in the country for Peace Corps volunteers. That's worth applause. You've helped make the Madison community a better place by doing 31,000 hours of community volunteer work in the last year alone. And you've set a new record for voting on this campus and turned out to vote in far higher numbers than your peers at most other schools. As one of our alums said recently, people like to talk about all the things that someone really ought to be doing, but at UW, they're actually doing those things. But very few people can tackle serious problems on their own. To make a difference in the world, you also have to know how to collaborate. There's a growing body of research that shows that groups solve problems better than individuals, and diverse groups solve problems even better. And I hope you've learned something about how to work with people from many different fields and different backgrounds while you were here, while living in the dorms, while being part of a student club, while participating in group projects. And no matter what school, college, department, institute, or research center you've been part of, I hope you've experienced an extraordinary community of scholars collaborating across many different fields. I hope you'll stay connected with those friends and with your colleagues here at UW, and that you will use your education to make this world a little better. Let me close by asking you to do something. Friends and family, this means you too. Take a moment to look at the people around you, next to you, right, left, in front, behind. Today, we're part of something that is rare in this country and even on this planet. A peaceful and joyful gathering of people from across the world, of every race and every religion. People from Beijing, China, Miami, Florida, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and every point in between. People whose families started on every rung of the economic ladder. We're all members of one big Badger family. This community is what a great public university can create. Our doors are wide open to Wisconsin and to the world. Families, thank you for the support, the love you've given your students over these years. Thank you for sharing these wonderful people with us. Students, thank you for making this university a better place while you were here. Keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing. I can't wait to hear what you're going to accomplish in the years ahead. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you, and on Wisconsin.